And welcome back to Hannity. The administration is now pushing forward on the U.S.-led nuclear talks with Iran, despite new reports that Iranian leadership is now refusing to part with its large stockpile of highly enriched uranium, of course, a crucial component to building a nuclear weapon. Now, this comes as our closest ally in the Middle East, Israel, and its Prime Minister, Benjamin Netanyahu, issuing a stern warning for the world, calling this deal with Iran, quote, dangerous for all of humanity. Even the former head of the Defense Intelligence Agency under Obama, Lieutenant General Mike Flynn, is having a hard time understanding the commander-in-chief's Middle East strategy. Watch this.
I can't say it any stronger. I almost feel like our policy is a policy of willful ignorance rather than facing the reality that we actually have right now. And I think that at the end of the day, we have just this incredible policy confusion. Never mind what our strategy is to execute that policy. We have to stop what we're doing and take a harder look at everything going on in the Middle East right now, because it's not going in the right direction.
All right, here to react is former Israeli Ambassador Dori Gold and the author of the brand new book, The 10 Commandments, Still the Best Moral Code. Friend, radio talk show host with Salem Radio Networks, and that's Dennis Prager's with us. All right, Dori, let me begin with you. Let's remind everybody, 2 weeks ago, the top mullah in Iran saying this.
هدفشون این است که مردم ایران رو در مقابل نظام اسلامی قرار بدن. این توجه بفرمایید. البته بله، مرگ بر آمریکا، چون آمریکا اون عامل اصلی این فشارهاست.
Then we have video, of course, of the Iranians burning American and Israeli flags. Dori Gold, as we watch this, I ask you this. Why would an American president negotiate the right for Iran to have nuclear weapons, which is what they will have, when they act this way towards us and towards you?
Well, there's also another fundamental question that's clearly related to what you're asking. Iran is on a roll. You have Iranian forces, boots on the ground in Syria, in Iraq, now in Yemen, and they're clearly conquering the Middle East. So if Iran is seeking to be the hegemonial power, dominating this region, do you really think it's going to adhere to any nuclear agreement you sign? Won't the Iranians try and make a quick run to obtain nuclear weapons, break out of any agreement?
But the deal with the president, this is from the AP over the weekend, it said this deal would allow them to produce material for energy, science, medicine, but also the fissile core of a nuclear weapon. And they get to spin 6,000 centrifuges and enrich uranium. Obama is giving them the bomb. That's what the AP is saying.
Well,
why would he do that?
Prime Minister of Israel has warned that the agreement that he understands is going to pave the way to a nuclear bomb. It's extremely dangerous. It's not only dangerous to Israel, it's dangerous to our Arab neighbors, and it's dangerous to the world, because just imagine a state exporting terrorism, a state that sought to recruit from the Mexican drug cartels an operative to engage in a mass casualty attack in Washington, D.C. just 2 years ago. That state's going to have nuclear weapons. Do you really want to have that capacity used against the United States or its allies? That's the danger we're dealing with.
Yeah,
and that's the danger we must stop.
All right, so Dennis Prager, I go to you. Now, you have this Iranian defector gave an interview over the weekend and said the following. He said the U.S. negotiating team are mainly there to speak on Iran's behalf with other members of the 5+1 countries and convince them of a deal.
So, it's worth noting, by the way, who this defector is.
Yeah.
He ran the campaign for the current president, Rouhani, of Iran. That's how big the man is. He just defected at tremendous risk to his life, and God knows about his family back in Iran, and to warn the world about what America is doing in Switzerland. I mean, that's how low we have sunk.
Why? Bob Menendez, a Democrat in New Jersey, who may be pursued by the Obama Justice Department, he said we're leaping in with both feet here. You apparently have had congressmen, Jewish congressmen, now have met with the administration. They're now beginning to slightly speak out. But for the most part, Democrats have been silent on this deal. Why?
That's right. Well, look, the sad truth is that the Democratic Party is not the Democratic Party you and I grew up with, which was liberal. It is now leftist. There are almost no liberals. There are no Moynahans. There are no Jacksons, as in Scoop Jackson. It is a left-wing party. And if you read the left press, whether it's Rolling Stone or the New York Times editorial page, that is what these people believe. American dominance in the world, American hegemony is a bad in their view. Iranian hegemony in the Middle East is not a bad. If you dislike America, you're probably okay.
Yeah.
As bizarre as that sounds.
Yeah, and Dori, the way the administration is framing this debate, it's a straw man argument. It's that either we negotiate with them or we go to war with them. Isn't there another option? Didn't the prime minister offer another option?
Right. I think the option he offered is a better deal. For example, this whole proposal is based on a sunset clause. You know, a point in time in 10 years when you take off all the nuclear restrictions on Iran and you just let them develop whatever they want. Well, that's a very dangerous proposition. In 10 years' time, they'll have a huge amount of enriched uranium, and they'll be able to put that uranium into the missiles, which are not at all limited. And therefore, the prime minister has spoken about, if you're going to have the sunset clause, take off the restrictions once Iran no longer is threatening its neighbors, no longer calling for the destruction of Israel, and acting like a responsible player in the international community.
This is utter insanity. Thank you, Dori. By the way, my good friend Dennis has a new book, The 10 Commandments, Still the Best Moral Code. It really is, right? Simple?
It is simple, but the thing is, a lot of people don't know how great it is, and they don't even fully understand it. Like, just one example.
Yeah.
It says, do not murder, not do not kill. Killing...
Big distinction.
Huge. Otherwise, we'd have to be vegetarian and pacifist. And you don't have to love your parents, you have to honor them.
Okay, so you can't hate them.
Well, even if you do, you still have to honor them.
All right, fair enough. And you know what? If we did that, we'd have less problems in the world.
That's right, exactly.
No doubt about it. All right, coming up.